After 3 years of supporting Ukraine, they are free. They are a free country. Now to the war in Ukraine, where continued attacks inside of the mainland of Russia have prompted Russian President Vladimir Putin to say he is done negotiating with Ukraine. So does that mean no peace negotiations on the table? What does that mean? Last night, we heard President Biden saying that they're going to stand with Ukraine until the end, and that after 3 years of supporting Ukraine, they are free. They are a free country. This comes 24 hours after we learned Ukraine, of course, is banning Christian church in Ukraine. So what does freedom exactly mean? Let's ask former UN weapons inspector, former U.S. Marine Scott Ritter, who has, probably the most acute understanding of what's going on there, better than just about anyone. Scott, great to see you, and welcome back to the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
So when you heard President Biden last night say, we're going to stand with Ukraine until the end, that Vladimir Putin thought he would just walk all over Ukraine within a few months, but 3 years later, Ukraine is still free thanks to NATO weapons, U.S. monies flowing into Ukraine. And now we learned Vladimir Putin saying he's done negotiating with Ukraine. Can you help us unpack all of these big movements over the past 24 hours?
Well, first of all, I think Biden's statements reflect the ignorance of not only the man, Joe Biden, but of the U.S. government, and indeed, I would say the United States as a whole, about Russia, Ukraine, and this conflict. The irony is the United States took away my passport and denied me the ability to go back to Russia for a third time in a span of a year. Why would I dare travel to Russia? Perhaps to learn more about the Russian people, the Russian nation, what motivates Russia, how they think, what the Russian soul is, what the Russian perspective is. Important things if you're going to take a look at the broader picture of what the Russian objective in Ukraine is. You see, for people like Biden, people in the U.S. government, the American people, we only think in terms of, good versus evil, black versus white. We are unable to comprehend that this conflict between Russia and Ukraine is between brothers, that this is very much a civil war that's brought on not because of differences of opinion of the brothers themselves, but that one brother was pushed by outside powers to behave aggressively against the other brother, compelling that brother to respond.